so much for sparing your time to join us today, our distinguished panelists. Our theme today is Leadership Beyond Borders, empowering marginalized youth to drive social impact. I know that this theme emphasizes the importance of nurturing leadership skills among young people, particularly those from marginalized groups. That's why that word is there in the theme. This theme aims to highlight the need for inclusive leadership that transcends geographical, social, and economic barriers, fostering a generation of young leaders able to create change in their societies. This dialogue series, particularly the one for today, aims to showcase how young leaders are addressing issues in their various communities, but also telling us the strategies of how to overcome the issues that they're facing, amplifying their impact on a larger scale. So before we start, I would like to request my panelists to come and unmute and introduce themselves. Let's start with you, Judith.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Am I audible? Good evening, everybody. My name is Judith de Oliveira from Namibia. I'm the AWLF Vice President in the Namibian division. So looking forward to have a great discussion with all of you and, sharing our insights on the leadership aspect. Thank you.
Can you come and introduce yourself? I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it.
Vice President in the Namibian division.
Mr. Bashir, the mic is yours.
Okay. A very good discussion and every one of you. My name is Ambassador Shuaib Bashir Mukaddam, the National President of the Carlos Student Association here in Nigeria. I look forward and I'm thrilled to engage in this thought-provoking discussion with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please kindly tell us how we pronounce your name.
Shuaib Bashir.
Shuaib. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Sally, kindly come and introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Sally Naisola Muyai from Kenya, and I'm the founder of a social enterprise called Naisola Kids. Yes, we'll talk more about it, and I'm happy to see Judith. We met during the AUSP in Kigali, so yeah. And that's how I got to also know about African Young Leaders Foundation through Kofi Patrick, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Sally. You're very welcome, and we cannot wait to hear from you. I'll start with you, Mr. Bashir Shuaib. Can you briefly tell us, share with us the overview of the initiative that you're carrying out in your community, and what specific issues does your initiative aim to address?
It's a pleasure to be invited to discuss on this specific. I, Shuaib Bashir Mukaddam, I use my position as the National President of Africa Law Student Association to carry out some proposals which impact on the leadership of especially young people. One of the most important issues I think needs to be addressed, and which I'm trying to address, is youth in Africa need to learn self-valuableness. That is, they don't have to reach some certain height before they can think they can achieve something. Everything is achievable. There's this ageism, which is a belief in Africa that once you are a young person, you are not capable of doing some certain things. I think this needs to be addressed. When we look at our laws in various countries, you see that in some constitutions of some countries here in Africa, you see that the youth are marginalized. Why? Because basically solely on their age. a constitution will say that a certain office, let's say an office of a governor, an office of a representative at the assembly, that you must reach 40 years, 50 years, 45 years. This is, I believe, this is a way of marginalizing the youth, and we've been carrying out various campaigns. Specifically, I have a project we are working on, which we call Catch Them Young. This is, we have to get the mind of these individuals, we have to get the mind of these youths at the right of their beginning. This is why we've launched many various programs at secondary schools here in Nigeria. One was launched in Abuja. One was launched in Abuja. One was launched. Yes.
I'm sorry to cut you short, but I would like to request you to lower the voice of the other device so that we avoid echoes.
Okay.
Can you decrease the volume of the other device that you're using?
Yes, I've done it.
Please.
One was launched in Abuja and one was launched here in a secondary school in Kano, which is, we meet these children, we tell these children that they don't need to grow big and before they can achieve what they want. All what they believe is, now they are children and they can't do anything until when they are adults, until when they are 40, until when they are 45. We enlighten these children. We tell these children that they don't need to reach this starting years before they can achieve whatever they want to achieve. This is one of many things which I've been trying to do in order to impact the youth on the leadership positions. Thank you.
I'm not sure I heard you clearly. I don't know if the problem is with my device or... But what is the initiative that you are talking about? You do mentorship?
The initiative was a secondary school outreaches. That is outreach to children in secondary schools, where we enlighten them and educate them on the impact they can make at their young age, not necessarily till when they reach 40, 50, and all those ages. Thank
you. Okay, that's amazing. Before I'll come back to you, Mr. Bashir. Allow me go to Miss Judith. Miss Judith, kindly unmute and tell us about your leadership journey as far as women in leadership is concerned. That you do some intervention to leadership roles. How has that been in your community or in your country? Thank you.
Thank you for the platform given to me. Yes, is it possible for you to just say the question again? Because there was a network disconnection that took place, so the words could not come out clearly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I said that I'm aware that you are doing some interventions as far as women in leadership is concerned. Kindly take us through how your leadership journey has been. What are those lessons that you have learned as a woman, and how have you empowered these women to take on leadership roles? Because if we're talking about young people, we also talk about women, because currently I think in my country, women is the biggest population. I believe in Africa, it's something like the same. So what is that work that you do as far as women in leadership is concerned?
Okay, I think they are like two questions merged together, right? Maybe, but I'm gonna start with my initiatives, which is I started. It's not yet open yet, but it's an idea that I had for the longest. Basically, to promote women that want to take part in leadership in different spheres of their lives, and this is just aims to boost their confidence, their resilience, their self-esteem. We just want women to be icons in their communities, to inspire the young girls, because most of the time we don't have it's really hard to see somebody in the community that they look up to. And when they look at, all they see is just maybe a sister that goes clubbing, a sister that goes do this and that. But they want to see, because especially for the little girls, they need to see these people that are doing, like doing greater things in leadership, so that they can be, their passion can be ignited, so that their vision can be enlarged, so that they know, like, okay, I can also be that, or I can also do that. I have the same capacity like them. If she managed to do it, then I can do it as well. So my leadership journey was, and basically the whole idea, or the whole aim of the initiative, was uh, to address the underrepresentation of women in decision-making offices, or structures, because I've discovered one thing, and that is, most women and most structures in my country lack women. They probably have like 3 to 4 or 2 leaders that in a structure, and the rest of them are males. And this is because, and also to address the situation whereby, women are not good leaders, women are too irrational, they're too emotional, they cannot lead. So we would like to address that. Regardless of that, there are special qualities that these women have that men do not have, that they can bring on the table, and which will promote diverse perspectives at the end of the day. So I would say my leadership journey was really, really extremely tough, because there are so many things involved. You can have somebody that offers you an opportunity, but at the end of the day, they want something else from that opportunity. Like, they're giving like more of a transaction. So at most of the times, like, women that are thriving in leadership, they go through certain parts or certain things in life whereby, then it only takes integrity and, of a person, of an individual, of their values, to say, no, what, I cannot do that, or that, I cannot take such a opportunity because of this and this and that. So most of the cases, it was really a challenge. It was really a challenge on my part, because, growing up, being a leader from my young age, and trying to compete with, with males, counterparts, trying to, try your best to overcome or stand up. So most of the time, or put down, like, you can only take this position. The higher positions are not for females, or the higher positions, you cannot achieve them, or you cannot take them. They give you a limitation, because they want to be in charge. So they want to do things, like, for example, let me just give an example. For example, there's someone that is offering an opportunity. They're like, okay, the only opportunity I can give you, maybe it's for you to volunteer, or the only opportunity I can give you is for you to do this, and not necessarily give you the bigger position. And it takes quite some time. It took me years, I'll say. I started from a volunteer, then I came to secretary work. Then from secretary work, I started becoming the, vice. I had to do the vice chairperson type of work. Then from there, I went to chairpersons in my regions and stuff like that. So, and then I ended up which is this year, when I got, I think last year, oh no, this year, early this year, I managed to go and contest with one of my Ugandan colleagues on a position of the vice chairperson of the AUSP parliament. So it was hectic, and yeah, and I never thought I can scoop that, but luckily, we thank God, we managed to come to an agreement, and we pushed through, and yeah. So it was not easy. It was very it took so much patience, it took so much courage, boldness. I remember at certain times I'll cry and I'm like, ooh, can I do this? I'm nervous and all this, but with all the prayers, I believed in myself all along, and I made it through till today. And I'm proud to say that I'm now a vice president representing my country, because it was not an easy journey. It started way too far. And yeah, today we are here. So I would say it's my greatest achievement ever. And I'm looking forward for more. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you so much. We congratulate you on that. Are there any lessons that you've learned in your leadership journey, and how have they shaped your work or the work that you're doing in your community?
I would say one of the most important thing I've learned was being the last person to speak as a leader. Because how it shaped me, because I remember I used to be the one, growing up, I was that active child that will always be, standing up, raising their hands, always participating. But leadership taught me that it's in a room where you find people or where you are serving, you should be the last person to speak, so that you don't dominate your opinion or perspective on others, but you help, because most of the time we have people in our executive that we are leading also, and they have greater ideas, they have greater perspectives, but the moment you dominate them as a leader, they become intimidated and they feel like, maybe my idea is not good enough. Maybe they will laugh at me, or maybe it's not, this. So what I've learned was, it's good to allow your people, ask them if maybe there is a meeting or there's something, ask them, what do you want us to do? Let them bring out their opinions, let them bring out their ideas, their perspective. And at the end of the day, you realize like, wow, what if I could have? That's how I realized that. Rather allow them to talk, allow them to share their, even if it's funny, even if it's, you feel like it's not, but allow them. And then at the end of the day, you as a leader, you pick, okay, it does not even, it's also good because it does not show that you dictated the ideas or the whole implementation, because it's now going to come like it's their own ideas you agreed to. You see, at the end of the day, they'll be like, okay, it's my idea that we went for, but not knowing that it also was incorporated in the leader's idea. So that is one of the things. And also the second one, I would say togetherness, I would say teamwork, or their relationship, building a relationship with the people that you're serving or the people that you're working with. It's very much, apart from just, them volunteering or doing this social work, there must be a certain relationship that you share, because now it shows that you have empathy, you care about their feelings outside the working environment. So it builds that strong relationship. At the end of the day, even if you are far, these are the people that you call family, and these are the people that can enlarge your network at the end of the day, because I've served this person, I've worked under this person, and I know how good this person is, so they can extend a helping hand in the future, so because of the relationship that you have. So yeah, so I would say, yeah, those are the lessons I've learned, basically.
Wow, you're giving me something that I can take home with me. First of all, as a leader, we have to, like you said, we have to put into consideration the different perspectives of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
regarding that they come from different backgrounds, and also like working as a team. It is usually challenging. We ask ourselves, are we leaders or are we bosses? A boss will just look and dictate what to do, but a leader will work with you, will listen to you. So it's really, really, really a good thought that you gave us. I'll come to you, Miss Sally. Kindly unmute and tell us about your initiative. What is your initiative doing, and what are the issues?
Okay, thank you, Mary Joyce. So, am I audible?
To address in your community or in your country? Thank you.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you're audible, but unclear.
Okay, and how about now?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes,
Naisola
please.
Kids.
Yes, please. Kindly go ahead. Kindly go ahead.
Naisola Kids is a social enterprise that takes care of, it's a program, an after-school program, where we gather kids below 13-year-olds to have programs after school, where the program, yes, they have like lessons after school programs which are not part of the school curriculum. So for instance, we teach them on music, we teach them on right now we are starting to teach them on governance, especially the ones who are say 8 years to 13, because it's something that people really neglect and say it's for the the politicians and all the lawyers. So we're starting to cultivate that. and also bring out the childhood, life of the child, because nowadays children are really not having the childhood, life that we had when we were growing up in, say, around 2000 and 10 and below. So that is what the program is trying to bring up, and also incorporate sports and just things just to engage with kids, and in return the kids pay for the service using recyclables. They pay using waste, so they pay the maximum you can pay, the minimum, sorry, is 5 kgs of waste, either paper or plastic or metal. So that translates to, we sell the waste. So in return, we get money and sustain the program. So it's an after school, and yeah, we're really trying to, engage children in other things apart from school and work. And the reason why I decided to do this is because I come from a marginalized community, the Maasai, and apart from school, which is a very huge privilege that is given to us, there's nothing else that we do as children. So you're either in school or at home. And at home you're there, all the labor, you're there catering for the cattle, for the kids. Some are even easily married off because you just told like education is not that much. So but if you engage those kids and show them that you just don't have to, read science and math. You can do other things. You can learn how to crochet. You can learn music. You can learn, your constitution. So yeah, that's why I came up with the thing. And we are also in informal settlements, the slums, because for there the main problem there is child labor. So I have had projects with the children there, programs, by other, organizations, and you get to learn more about kids by the way they speak, and they're just like, after school we just go home, we're given work. Some don't even carry books to at home because there's no environment, to learn or to even do anything. They just go, they're given, house chores, and someone is like below 10, you can imagine. So yeah, so I thought that kid needs, to enjoy the childhood. So yeah, that's why I came up with the initiative. Yes. Thank you.
Wow, that's a great initiative among the believers that young people need a holistic upbringing, like leave alone the things that they teach us at school. How can we be able to survive? How can we be able to protect our environment? How can we be able to make social impact? These things are not taught in school. So I like the fact that Naisola Kids addresses all that. And from what you're saying, you say that the kids pay with recyclables, and then in turn you sell the waste. Who do you sell this waste to?
Okay, there are people who buy the waste, mostly recyclers. So they buy the waste at 25 shillings per kg. Though it depends on the material. For plastic, it's 25 shillings, Kenya shillings per kg. And for paper and metal, is 35 shillings per kg. So we tell the kids just come with 5 kgs. And, now that is now for us now to translate it to money and sustain the program, because we have volunteers, staff who come, say, from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. So they cater for the kids. We call them uncle and auntie. So for the boys and for the kids, and we have a guard, myself, and yeah, so that sustains you pay them every day because we run for 7 days a week. But for Saturday and Sunday, we run for half day. So for that, now you have now to negotiate how much you can pay the persons, yeah, just to sustain them as well. Because we also offer snacks to the kids. We offer porridge and a fruit. So mostly it's banana. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a good initiative. The fact that you are conserving the environment by reducing plastic pollution, and the
Thank
fact
you.
that these kids are in turn being taught other skills that they can use in their day-to-day life. So
Yeah.
what are some of the challenges that you have encountered while doing this work?
Honestly, dealing with kids, people are like, so are you going to, parents, especially parents, they're so, they're asking, are you going to, to sell our kids, something like that, what other NGOs usually do, like they use the kids. But in real sense, they're just like, I'm just with your kids for 2 hours, I'm here to help. And you show them and you make sure the impact is, getting into the kids, something like that. Like kids are getting the impact. So the parents can get, the response, this is a good program, we want to attend, something like that. So mostly it's the parents, they are not very open, especially in the, informal settlements because of previous NGOs who are trying to do all that, misbehave with their kids and do that. So that is the only, um, challenge. Yeah.
So how have you handled that challenge? How have you overcome it? How have you addressed it? Have you talked to the parents?
Yeah. Yes. So since we have realized that challenge is really, and parents are there the whole time. So we bring in the parents, we tell them, before we start engaging the kids, we maybe gather them in a school or something and tell them this is what we'll be doing to your kids. And we make them appreciate the program. And we also make the kids, have the impact with them. Like they have something, to go with at home and say, I have learned this and this. Maybe I have eaten a snack, and the parent will appreciate because the parent is unable to provide something like that. So, yeah. So that is what you're doing. A lot of advocacy to the parents and yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Sally. I'll come back to you. But for now, I'd like to go back to Mr. Bashir. Mr. Bashir, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, please kindly share with us the lessons that you've learned in the work that you do, and how does it shape your approach to the work that you do in your community, like driving social change in your community? What are those lessons that you've learned? Sorry?
That I've learned.
Yes, and how are they shaping the work that you do in creating social impact in your community?
Yeah, one of the most important lessons I've learned is patience and sacrifice. This is because most of these kids are, as I told you, we've launched 2 successful secondary school outreach programs. We are looking to launching more in the future, but presently we don't have any plans on launching another again. But already we've launched 2 in secondary schools. So what I've learned so far is sacrifice and patience, because most of these kids are still at their young age, and they don't have the composure, they don't have the discipline that we adults possess. Maybe you might attend a lecture, a session. You are trying to speak to these kids, and you have to be speaking to them that please keep quiet, please keep quiet. You understand? So we don't have to be angry. We don't have to take it to our heart. We just have to understand that it's their age matters. This is why we have to talk to the kids in a way they will have to understand, and also we don't use extreme languages, and we do some things to make the kids excited. If I remember, there was once a time we gifted a game box to some group of secondary school students. This has kept them excited about our program and are always willing to have us back. So, and also sacrifice, because most of these programs we launch are programs that we sponsor personally. So we have to sacrifice. We have to understand that we are sacrificing. We have to understand that we are sacrificing for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of tomorrow. And most of these kids literally have what we discuss with them at heart. Some contact us, because when we make this program, some of the kids will request for our contact information, and most of the kids will contact us, and most of the kids will tell us that what we've spoken has really had a positive impact on them. One of the programs we've launched, the last program I attended was a program where we speak to the secondary school kids about cyberbullying. we made the kids understand that they have the rights. Nobody should bully them. They shouldn't be afraid of voicing out their opinions where in front of anybody. And these kids made it to understand. And some of these kids are already facing some of these issues of cyberbullying. Most, especially nowadays, cyberbullying is rampant with the social media. We have someone will go on Twitter, tweet something, and most of these things have impact on these kids mentally. There was a kid that was told he looks like a gorilla, and this had an impact on him mentally. He started to isolate himself, not engaging with other kids as he used to before and others. So we used to engage in most of these programs, and we take topics that need to be addressed to these children. So I think the two, to cut it short, the two lessons I've learned is patience. You have to be, most of our programs, you have to be patient, looking at the age bracket of the kids, as I said. We can't, they don't have the composure as adults have, and also sacrifice, because we sacrifice a lot. We sacrifice our time. I remember missing lectures for one of the secondary school programs. We sacrifice most of our financial resources, our time, and almost everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bashir, for those wonderful insights. What I get from you is that we have to sacrifice a lot. The work that we do creating social impact needs a lot of sacrifice, time, and then patience, like you said. I'll come back to you, Judith. Kindly tell us what are those qualities that are essential for, because for you now you're talking about women. What are those qualities that are essential for women aiming to drive social change in their communities? What should they possess if they are to drive change?
Since it carries so much weight on, and you as a woman, you need to have integrity. You need to live your life with great integrity, because now you need to attach your values to it as well, because there are so many people that are there that want to just be an opportunistic, and just wants to take advantage of women because they are in leadership, or because I can get you this. So you need to just be aware, like, okay, I'm here for this and I'm not here for that. So you need to be focused on what it is. So you need to have integrity, and you need to uphold your values, regardless of where you find yourself or whatever comes. Because we are at the same way you say you can be in a road, a lady that is on the road late night. So anything can happen. It's also like leadership is also like that. So anything can happen in the long run. So, and also I would say the second one is resilience. You need to be able to bounce back from whatever situation, because you're going to face so many battles, so many challenges. So you need to be able to have characters that can, bring you back, and, that can help you overcome any situation that comes your way. And I would say also number 3 is that you need to be courageous. You need to build that boldness in you, because there are going to be certain decisions you need to make, and you need to believe in yourself, because some of them can be like, it's like taking a risk, because you don't know what the outcome is. But at the end of the day, that organization or that initiative needs to move. So if you want it to move, there are certain things you need to put on the line for you to achieve them. So it's like, yeah. And also, as I said, empathy. Yeah, you need to have a heart for your people. You need to love it regardless. Don't have a narrative of saying, yeah, because I'm a female leader, then I can be rude, or then I can be this, or then I can show this and that. No, have a heart of people that you're working with, or people like in the community. Have that heart. Show love. It's like, don't be a leader, and then at the same time you've made, because of the challenges you go through or because of the battles you face, now you harden your heart towards people and stuff. But make sure that despite you going through all those challenges, make sure that you are also having a soft spot for people, and also having a clear vision. You as the leader, as a female leader, you need to know where you are going and what it costs to get there. So you need to bring the whole plan to your people, like draw it to them and show them, like, you know what, this and this and this is this. We need to achieve this by the end of this and this and that. You need to do this and that so that we achieved A, B, and C target. So you need to be the driver force of, that organizational initiative, because it all depends on you. Everything is on you. So yeah. And lastly, I would say confidence. You need to be confident, because as much as you are a woman, you need to be aware of, your beauty, your zeal. You need to know that you are not competing with anybody. You are in competition with yourself. So there are gonna be women that are gonna do it better than you. There are gonna be women that are gonna do it, in a different way. And don't feel intimidated. When you have confidence, it's hardly for you to get intimidated by people. So that is one of the characteristics, because most women, they tend to bring themselves down because it's like, she did it better than me, or she came off in a different way, and it just dimmed my light. But always, regardless of what the obstacle is or what the person is doing, make sure that when you come and present your idea, or when you come and stand up and do certain things, do it better way, your way, because everybody has a different version of doing things. So just be confident, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judith. That is very elaborate and insightful. I'll come to you, Sally, in a moment. Kindly unmute and tell us, what is the future of Naisola Kids like? What are your future aspirations? We need to hear from you and learn from you how we can be able to also set up our own initiatives in our communities, like Naisola Kids.
Okay, thank you. So the future where I see Naisola Kids is growing the, impact and reaching more kids and more kids, because right now we're just reaching, areas that I have been to, and I have seen the problem, and my desire is to reach, we'd say sub-Saharan Africa, because that is where the problem is really, and maybe even have like a school where we teach more than just the curriculum. So yeah, that is where I envision it. And right now we're just starting out with centers and, trying to gather kids and also popularize the idea, and bring in partners on board, because without partnerships, then you cannot work alone in such, then in such initiatives. You need people to, it'll also bring in resources, advice as well, because dealing with kids is not easy, especially kids who are not yours. So you really need a lot of advice and resources to sustain the program and even make it, more, because I also want them to eat not just porridge and banana, maybe full meals or something like that. Yeah, so yeah, that is what I envision it. Yeah. Thank you.
Unfortunately, it looks like we've lost our host, Miss Mary. I'll take it from here. So, Mr. Shaibu, I hope I get the pronunciation correct. So, what will you tell other people who are looking forward to you? What are the challenges, some of the challenges that you face as a young leader who is undertaking this prestigious task on yourself? You know the challenges it comes with. What will you tell other people who are looking forward to be in your shoes?
Yeah, what I'll tell other young leaders, one of all is perseverance. That is, they have to keep steadfast on what they want to do. They need to achieve it, and they need to keep working hard to achieve it. It's no journey has ever came easy. As I always tell leaders, When people consult me, I always tell them that nobody has ever stood on his feet and got away with it easily. First of all, as students, I believe every young adult, every young individual in Africa has one or two academic programs is still attending. First of all, the challenges they face is time management. They need a proper time management plan, how to plan their time, how to plan their activities, so that their activities will not disrupt their academic activities also. The secondly is patience. They need to be patient. They need to be patient, as I always say. Not everything will work out. Some projects you work on, you have to work, you have to redo it. This is, you have to be patient. You have to understand that success doesn't come at once. It's a collective force of dedication, perseverance, and patience. So I always tell young leaders who look up to achieving greater heights is patience, hard work, and dedication. You have to be dedicated. You have to be intentional about what you want to achieve. I always tell leaders, you have to be intentional. I want to achieve this. I want to achieve this. I want to achieve this. Have a framework. Have your goals written. This is where time plan comes in. Plan your life. Plan things you want to do within your. We are entering 2025 in the next couple of months. Plan what you want to do in 2025. Plan your project. Have a plan. Be patient about it. When this plan fails, go to the second plan. When this plan fails, go to the third plan. You don't have to give up. I always tell leaders, you don't have to give up. And I always tell leaders to include elders. That is, people who are experienced in areas you are trying to delve on. Please include them in your journey. We all have potentials. We all have things to do. We all have things we are looking up to. You want to be an excellent lawyer as a law student starting. Please engage some lawyers, you'll be gaining advice. Engage some lawyers, you'll be gaining guidance. Engage some lawyers, you'll be gaining mentorship also. And lastly, I would like to call on African youth and specifically young leaders to pursue their potentials. Please identify and pursue your potential. You don't need to say, okay, my friend is a footballer, I'll be a footballer. It's not done like that. You don't need to say, my friend has become a lawyer, I must be a lawyer. Identify where you are good at. Identify what is your talent and build yourself on that. You are good at public speaking, go for aspects of public speaking. You are good at art, go for art. You don't need to follow the mass. You don't need to follow the queue. Identify your potential, work hard, pray, and everything will be all right. This is what I will have to say for the young leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mary. Welcome. So I asked Mr. Shaibu what challenges he's facing as a young person who is undertaking the tax he is doing in Nigeria, and what he will tell other people who are looking forward to him to doing same. So will you welcome back and then take over? Thanks.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry I'm having network disturbances here. Thank you so much, Mr. Bashir, for that wonderful, those wonderful insights you've given us. I want to read some comments from YouTube. Josiane Adolf is always here. Thank you so much for keeping it here. Interesting discussion, she says. Women really go through a lot indeed. Yvonne, hi Yvonne. Yvonne says interesting and she's following. And she says congratulations to Judith. And then she said, wow, be the last speaker if you're a leader. That's what she has learned from you, your speech. We have Ben. Ben is saying, this is an inspiring tale. A lot of young female are looking up to you. I love what you're doing at Judith. I learned something. Last speaker in the room as a leader. Thank you so much, everyone who is following on YouTube, guys. We cannot pay you enough, but thank you so much for always sparing your time to listen and also pick something from our distinguished panelists. So I think time has gone out. I'd request you, Judith, to come and give us your parting shots as we conclude.
Pardon?
What advice are you giving to the young people there who want to create social impact in their communities? What are your last words?
my last word is that everybody has a path to take in life. And if you know deep down in you that you are a leader, irregardless of your society or your environment or what the stereotype says, always believe in yourself that you can achieve it, and always make sure that you are in the right path of your destiny. If you feel like you have a seed of leadership in you, that means you need to work towards certain path that leads you to leadership. For example, if you're a young girl, I would say take part in being a class captain or class repping at your school, LRC. From there, when you go to institutions, or I would say higher learning, institution, then you can take it up to become an SRC, or you just help at certain committees in the, and whatever you. One thing I learned about also is that wherever you start, whether it's at a volunteer level or whether it's an LRC level, there's always something that you learn, and every step you take will lead you to the bigger step. So imagine I had a vision of what I wanted, and I knew what I wanted. And I had a certain path, though it took years. I'm not gonna say it took I would say didn't take months. It's something that is, you need to be persistent. You need to keep knocking. You need to keep believing, even though they knock you down sometimes, because they're gonna knock you down at some point in life. And these are things that you need to learn, that okay, after this pain or after this betrayal, after this rejection, I need to level up my game, and I need to keep pushing. No matter how, people will shut doors in your face, like they will do all the necessary things just to limit you or just to discourage you. But if it's in you, if it's a seed that is in you, it will always germinate, no matter what people do or no matter what people say. So it's about believing in yourself and believing that you can achieve all things as long as you put God first. God is the only person that can upgrade you, that can lift you up. And he's the one that knows which are the people that are destined to be your destiny helpers, that will lead you to where he wants to take you. So believe in him, trust his way, and yeah, everything will be fine, and you will get there. And people will be like, wow. Because for them to be wowed, there must be something that you did to get where you are today. So it's about taking the bold step, I will say. I submit.
Thank you so much for that kind submission. You need to be persistent. You need to keep knocking. And by the way, if one door closes, open another, or pass through the window or the ventilator. We are not stopping.
True.
Miss Naisola, kindly give us your parting shots.
Okay, my parting shot will be, for as one who is running a social enterprise, and for a world where purpose and profit go hand in hand, we have to keep on innovating and learning. Just as Judith is saying, keep on learning. We as young people, we have a long way to go. We have to keep learning from old people. We have to keep learning. Nowadays there's so many resources, so let's just expose ourselves to these resources, and don't be afraid to start. Just start. If you think of something that will change your community or someone else's community that you have seen the problem there, just start something that is going to really help, not just for profit but mainly for purpose, because money will always come. As much as you put in the effort, money will come, people will come and support you. But as Africans, we have to also unite, because our problems are similar. Right now, Kenyans, we are, fighting for democracy, for high taxation and all that. And Mary, you just told me Ugandans, you're also fighting for that. So that is telling you that we are all, people from abroad say Africa is a country. And I don't think we can disagree, because we have similar problems. We have, yeah. So we have to keep learning and, helping ourselves. So, because we are the only people we know our problems, and we also know our solutions. So yeah, let's just keep, accelerating the change. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
we want them to do to fight for the prosperity of Africa. We cannot wait to create social impact. We are the biggest population, so we have to start now. The time is now. Ms. Naisola, you forgot to talk about the challenge that you're participating in. I think this is the time you could advertise it and tell people to like your video or share your video. Hi, Miss Sally. Oh, she left. Okay, over to you, Mr. Bashir, with your parting shots. The last man, the only man and last man standing.
Yeah, I think my parting shots will be a call to African young leaders. As we go forth, let us remember that our future lies in our hands. The future of Africa lies in our hands. The future to shape Africa into what we dream of lies in our hands. Africa is the continent with the largest population, the continent with the largest mineral resources, the continent with the largest farming land, the continent with the largest everything you can think of. And Africans are very talented to the extent that you can't imagine. Go to these factories abroad. Go to these factories overseas. We are in Africa where wherever a talent is exhibited, wherever someone is found with a talent, you will become and picked by the right men to go and serve them there. Let us understand that this Africa is ours. Our future is in our hands. As I said, Africa is the continent with the largest population, with the largest resources and everything, yet still at the back. This is something that confuses this generation, and it pleases me to see a lot of youths nowadays have waken up to the task to bring change, to visualize the Africa they envision. So let us come together, unity. I always call on African young leaders to unite. While two heads is better than one, and when there's unity, there's prosperity and there's progress. Let us unite ourselves. Let us understand that we are once as Africans. We are together, support each other. Each and everyone has his own potential. If my brother has potential in this, let me support him. I have potential in this, let him support me. I believe one of the weapons that the whites have used against us in Africa is lack of cooperation. So today in Africa, when two people exist in a class, when two excellent students exist in a class, the next thing that will come is competition between them. The next thing that will come in is rivalry. The next thing that will come in is hatred. We don't have this belief. We don't have this feeling in Africa to unite. I know this, you know this. We are the two best students in the class. Let us come and unite. Let us come and bring something that has never been done. Let us unite. You have your weaknesses, I have my weaknesses. Let us cover the weaknesses of each other. Let us strengthen each other. But in Africa, competition, in Africa, rivalry, in Africa, hatred has driven us apart, and we are facing it as in the continent. So one thing, my parting words is always to call on African young leaders to work hard, believe nothing is achievable, pursue their dreams. I always tell people, African young leaders, to live an intentional life. Let you live an intentional life. Let you have what you want to achieve. Don't be dormant. Today you might find someone who when you ask him, okay, now from now to 2027, what master plan do you have? What do you want to achieve? He might say, I don't have whatever comes. You have to be intentional. You have to know what do you want to do with your time. What do you want to do with your day? What do you want to do with your week? What do you want to do with your life in general? So I call on African young leaders to have to live an intentional life, plan, work hard, patience, don't leave prayers behind, whatever religion you practice, and cooperation. Let us come and support each other. Let us unite. Divided we fall. The white people are always willing to see us divided so that they can use their forces in order to, they can use us against one another. Let's look at what is happening in Sudan. It is very sad. It is something that really touches the heart. So I call on African young leaders to unite towards seeing the vision of Africa we have been realized very soon. This is my parting words, and it is a pleasure to be invited. And I've learned a lot. I've gained a lot from this session. I say a very big thank you to the African Young Leaders Foundation. I say a very big thank you to His Excellency James Aporeku And you,
Thank you so much, Mr. Bashir. Actually, you mentioned something, and there is something that I learned a few weeks ago, that competition is the last thing that we need as young people or as Africans. We need to embrace the importance of collaboration. That's how we are going to achieve or eliminate all the challenges that we are facing as Africans. And also, we can be able to foster development or prosperity or a sustainable future for all. Miss Sally, before you went, I had given you a special time to talk about the challenge that you're competing in, the startup of the year.
Oh yeah, sorry, I fell off. So, we just we passed the first stage, and now we're in the second stage where we're asking for votes to vote for Naisola Kids as the startup project of the year. And I'm requesting African Young Leaders Foundation to just vote for the project. Yeah, so probably Mary Joyce will help me maybe post in your group, or just for the votes. Yes, so I will really appreciate. Thank you.
I'll do that. Collaboration is all we need. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our distinguished panelists. Yeah, you go and look for that, or maybe I'll share the link to you, but I would like to remind all of you to like our social media pages. If you are new to African Young Leaders Foundation, follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. But also follow me at Takali Mary Joyce on all social media pages. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, share, so that we can get to know your thoughts. We've come to the end of it, and as we conclude this inspiring dialogue, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our panelists. Thank you for sharing your stories and insights. I believe that our viewers have listened, and my question to you, my viewers, would be like, what are you going to do about it? You've heard their stories. Are you going to emulate them? Have you learned something? What are you going to do in your community? We've seen that leadership knows no borders, and empowered youth can create transformative change regardless of the challenges they face. Thank you so much to everyone who keeps it here every Sunday evening. Thank you so much to the Executive Council of African Young Leaders Foundation. Thank you so much, our CEO. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you so much, my distinguished panelists. Thank you so much, everyone. We can call it a night. Keep being the change makers that our world needs. Bye-bye.